I gotta say, we need a doctor in the house because the people at Politico, I believe, have testicular cancer. The balls that you need in order to push an article like this, and then smile at people pretending that you're smug and intelligent. So they're saying how the far right stole Christmas, and then they talk a little bit about how, well, actually, Christmas today is not very religious. Christmas today is more commercial. So, like, why are the right wingers saying that this is about Christianity and paganism and Okay, listen here, you bitches. Let me explain to you the thing called reality. This year, in the United Kingdom, there was a very beautiful picture uploaded on their government website that shows the palace being decorated with Christmas lights, and in front of it, there was a Christmas market. Now, some tourists saw that and said, oh, wow, I mean, this is kind of cool. I'm in London right now. May as well go and visit. And when they got there, they couldn't find anything. Like, someone stole the Christmas. Was the Grinch there? What happened? Where's the decorations? Where's the market? Well, it turns out there was never a market. The picture was AI manipulated. So, I guess, like, Britain has reached maximum safetyism, where you don't need anyone defending your Christmas market. There can be no danger. But at the same time, people from home can feel as if there is a Christmas market. Now, when I talk about Britain, obviously they're the extreme. But there are more sane nations in Europe, like, for instance, Germany, a place that I have visited in the past, coincidentally during Christmas, and what I saw horrified me. The Christmas market was probably the most defensible position in that city. Like, if there was a zombie invasion and I somehow managed to get to the Christmas market in time, I believe I would have been safe. The whole thing was more protected than Fort Knox. It had massive walls surrounding it. It had, like, pillars to make it so that cars can't go through. And then at the entrance, there were 2 police officers, which I don't know if they were police or special forces because I couldn't see their faces. And they had, like, these full semi-automatic weapons of war that the American left constantly freaks out about. Now, to be fair, they weren't facing the market. Like, they weren't trying to assault the people in the market. But I think, like, if anything happened to the market, they were ready to assault the world. So, here's the question. Why does it have to be like this? Like, it's not like this in my country. It's not like this in Eastern Europe, right? It's not like this in Poland. Not like that in Hungary. Not like that in Romania. Why is it in Germany? Why can't the British have actual Christmas markets? Why do they just need AI representations? I mean, at a Christmas market, who goes there? Well, it's small entrepreneurs, right? Like small business people, elderly women, families with children. And so the question is, like, who wants to harm these people? What have they done to deserve the wrath of something that requires this level of protection in order for that something to be kept at bay? And the thing is, I know the answer. You know the answer. Every person knows the answer, but we have to pretend like, well, nothing is going on. Because we can't talk about it because, well, as Politico would probably know, it's politically incorrect to actually address why is there such a need for security to a family-friendly event. And so you have people that aren't religious, right? Like, Politico is right. Most people aren't dogmatic. Especially not people from the city, especially not people from Germany. You know, they're not Bible thumpers. They don't go around quoting the New Testament. They're not the type of people that go to church every Sunday. They don't fast. They rarely take a knee in order to pray, right? Like, let's be honest. Most people in German cities aren't that devout. But you know what they are? They are used to tradition. They are used to growing up with that commercial Christmas. Yes, sure, it's not very pious, it's not very Christian. You get people worshiping Santa Claus in the Coca-Cola suit rather than Jesus Christ. But you know what? It was their culture. And that's how they grew up. And they expect that their kids will grow up in the same culture. Why? Because it was something wholesome. There was literally nothing wrong with it. And the very fact that they now have to be reminded every single year about the actual war on Christmas Because if you need armed guards and security and all that shit just to sell some Christmas trinkets, then yes, there fucking is a war on it. They want to have a conversation. And Politico thinks, okay, no, we can have the conversation. You see, guys, it's not about religion. No, it's not about religion. It's actually about commercialism. But if it's not about religion, who's attacking these people? Right? Like, if it's for no religious reason, like, it's just purely secular, right? Like, are you telling me that the type of individuals that attack a Christmas market do it because they feel their ledgers being threatened, that they feel their own businesses at risk? And like, oh, well, we got some competition in the neighborhood to our own barber shops, right? People don't come to our barber shops, they go to the Christmas market. We need to shut it down somehow. No, I'm pretty sure that, yes, no, there is a war on Christmas. Yes, the conversation is definitely religious, political. Even though you're thinking that, oh, well, you know, like, these people, they claim they care about Christianity, but in reality, they don't. They care about their traditions, okay? They're not dogmatic. That's fine. No one has to be dogmatic. But you know what? People should have a right to go around and sell some Christmas trinkets without feeling as if they're entering Fort Knox. And the reality is that, well, in Eastern Europe, we actually do not have to do any of that stuff. Like, in my town, there is a Christmas market right now. I went to it yesterday. No security whatsoever. There's not even a single police officer there. How can we manage, right? Like, how is it possible? Like, are we miracle workers? Like, do we figure something out? You know, maybe Germany and the United Kingdom should send a delegation to Poland, to Romania, to Hungary, so they get educated on how to govern a society when it comes to organizing Christmas, and then Politico won't actually have to complain about, oh my goodness, the far right. This is another interesting thing, you know? Like, the far right apparently has legitimate concerns. Like, you don't have to be far right in order to notice that when you grew up, the Christmas markets didn't have this level of security. Now they do. Right? No one needs to be part of some ideology in order to see that, okay, this is a problem. Why is it like this? Secondly, the solution would obviously be of fixing the problem. Like, recreate a society where people can have the same Christmas markets that they do in Eastern Europe. Find out how we do it, fix the problem, and then apply it over there. But of course, they don't want to do that, right? And instead of solving the problem by, you know, getting to the root of the issue, because, like, if you solve the problem, like, obviously the far right will have less things to bitch about. They would have a smaller platform. But instead, what they want is censorship. And it's like, oh, you know, if we just don't talk about it, if we don't address the issue, then the issue will go away. No, now apparently the issue hasn't gone away, right? Now apparently you have Meloni-chan, which is making the issue her issue. And these people are kicking and screaming and crying and saying, oh my goodness, it's not fair. Oh, wait, look at they're grifting. I don't think they're grifting. I think, like, you don't understand why people are upset. Again, if you look at the Bible, right, there's nothing about Christmas markets, there's nothing about Santa Claus, there's nothing about Christmas trees. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. 100%. Yeah, like, a really religious person would probably be like a Puritan during England back in the day, where they did cancel Christmas. If you didn't know, yes, like, the Puritans were literally the fun police. And in Britain, they basically cracked down on all of this commercialism. And they said Christmas is the time of the birth of the Christ. It's about fasting, praying, and sitting at home. And they literally did that, right? So, like, the true religious people, like, I don't think you can get more Puritan than the Puritans, they decided that, yeah, like, this celebration is not needed. Fair enough. But this is not why people are complaining. People are complaining because they want the tradition. It doesn't matter how the tradition came to be. It means that when they grew up, the tradition was there. It's not a bad tradition that has to be excluded. It's not a problem that the tradition exists. And so they want the tradition to continue. And that is perfectly fair. You know, now you can say, well, not everyone is like that. Well, no, but this is why they vote for Meloni. Apparently, there's more people in Italy that want the tradition than those that don't. It's not fucking rocket science. And that's what pisses them off, is that sometimes democracy does work. Apparently, the people that believe Christmas is better than not having it are the ones that won. And also, it kind of makes the whole conversation on very different phobias interesting, right? Like, for example, they keep saying that LGBT people are persecuted. I mean, we can see LGBT rallies, and we have seen LGBT parades happening without them requiring to be in Fort Knox. Now, sure, at a specific time and different places, yeah. Like, there was people that were throwing stones, and especially in Eastern Europe. Like, there were people that were aggressive during pride parades, and they did need security. But in the last couple of years, no. No, like, you could have, like, a pride parade go through every single neighborhood in my country, and nothing would happen to them. Muslims, right? They can celebrate their Ramadan, they can have, like, their religious celebrations just fine. Jewish people in Europe. I'm not saying about Australia. I don't know how the fuck they're governing their country. But here in Australia, like, Jewish people, right? They can celebrate their Hanukkahs and shit. Okay, fine. Maybe you get, like, a Polish person that's a representative, and he brings, what was it? An extinguisher, and extinguishes the candles. Okay, fine. But that's not an act of physical violence, right? And it's not systemic. But still, right? Like, Jewish people can celebrate their stuff. Muslims can celebrate their stuff. LGBT people can celebrate their stuff. But for some fucking reason, when you have a Christmas market, you need armed guards with full semi-automatic weapons of war. Why is that? Huh? Like, let's talk about hate crimes, right? And if you want to have that conversation, let's stop looking at statistics and let's start looking at what's going around us. They don't like that conversation, do they? Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.